Okay, for real this time. Hey, it's Chrissy Key Rollins, and I'm here to talk top tips for consistent income attraction, especially when you have an inconsistent schedule. I just tried to invite a few people and I hit finish instead of cancel, so we're just starting up fresh again. So bear with me for a moment. I'm going to invite a few people over, and then we'll get this thing rolling. Thanks for hanging with me. Hey, whoever's just back live, thanks for joining me back again. Sorry, hit the wrong button. Happens sometimes, you know. So if you are here and you can say hello, let me know who you are. I'm just trying to invite a couple of people, trying to remember who all is in this group. Okay, I'm hitting cancel, not finished. All right, great. Perfect. Beautiful. Well, since we have at least one person chimed in here, showing up live, thanks for being here. I am going to go ahead and get this ball rolling. I am Chrissy Key Rollins, and if you are not familiar with me already, what am I? I'm an intuitive healer. I'm a mindset coach. And what I'm all about is helping you to connect to your own intuition so that you can navigate your own course in this life. And I specialize in offering simple power shifts that are typically like a 2-degree shift in your perception that allows you to have quantum leaps in your personal life, in your business life, in your overall life experience. So, over a decade ago, I started my business, Holistic Restoration. I started it in December of 2006, so I'm coming up on the 11-year anniversary of it. And over the past decade, I have watched myself ebb and flow throughout the entrepreneurial journey. I have watched countless other entrepreneurs jump in the ring and hop back out again. I have seen people take action and get massive growth in short periods of time. I have seen people take forever to make their first get their first client or create their first income. I've seen it all. I've done it all. I've heard it all. I've tried it all. I've implemented it all. And I have just fine-tuned my own system to allow me to build my business around my family and to create the income that I desire to have in order to open up as many options as I desire to have for myself and my family. And over the years, I found that this particular breed, this particular wave of entrepreneurs, we're a little bit different than those who came before us. There's a big shift that's happening energetically and in society, and with it is ushering a new way of doing business. And as this new way of doing business comes forward, it is allowing for a lot of us who didn't fit into the old paradigm to find our way. But for those that don't know that there's a new way, so many are jumping ship before you even get an opportunity to create some results that really feel good to you. And over the years, I saw myself sometimes taking action. I saw myself sometimes not taking action. I was told and attracted amazing mentors. I mean, amazing mentors. I'm very blessed to have the mentorship that I've had in my life. But what was consistent about all my mentors is that while they were amazing, I didn't see myself as amazing as they were, and they all had a part of their story that I couldn't relate to. So while I understood the simplicity of their models, the simplicity of the actions that they encouraged and taught me to take, I couldn't always get myself to actually do what they had recommended. And sometimes whenever I would do what was recommended, I wouldn't get the results that I saw were possible for them. And over the years in my business, I became a mom. I now have a daughter who is 4 years old, and she's hanging out in the room with me. And she might come over here and say hello at some point. So just a heads up on that. But becoming a mom kind of shifted things in my business. And anybody who's watching this, if you're in this group, I know you're a mom, so I know that you can relate to that. Hey, Joanne, I see that you're here. The comments aren't coming up, but I'm going to try to keep 2 screens up so that I can see if you comment anymore. So glad you're here, sweetie. I want this to be interactive since you're here live. So if you got any questions, by all means, chime in. And if anybody else joins us, then hopefully they'll chime in as well. So becoming a mom changed the game for me. I no longer had, these big chunks of my day that I could spend doing and not doing in my business. I now had little bite-sized pieces of time that were not necessarily falling into the 9 to 5 model. I wasn't I had my practice before having my child. I started my practice as a massage therapist, so a big bulk of my income came from people showing up at my house and physically getting an hour session with me. So becoming a mom, that kind of changed some things. And I realized that I didn't want to follow the old model of um, increasing my client load so that I would work more hours so that I could make more income. I had to find a different way to leverage it. So I restructured the whole way that I did my practice. I was able to find a rhythm and a groove that really worked for me. And now, 4 years later, now that I have my daughter here, I have my practice going, I actually work smaller amounts of time. I get more things accomplished, and I still make the same or more income than when I was hustling and kind of working from the time that I woke up to the time that I go to bed. And I think that that's part of the challenge that us mompreneurs have, is that if you do have an inconsistent schedule, if it is always changing, and if it is catered around some little people in your life. Hello, whoever just joined us live. You can chat in, say hi, let me know if you have any questions. Just let me know who's here. Um, I found that, again, I was working smaller increments of time. I had smaller windows of time that didn't necessarily fit that 9 to 5 schedule. So maybe I'd be up before my daughter was getting work done. Not likely. More likely, I would be working until like 2 o'clock in the morning trying to get things done just so I could get a newsletter out or get something accomplished or my website updated or whatever it was that I needed to do before going to bed. So I had to figure out a way that allowed me to create consistent income with an inconsistent schedule. And now I work far less hours. I still make the same or a little bit more income than what I had done in the past. And now my business is leveraged in a way that I can really scale it. In part, thank you, Nia, our beautiful hostess with the mostest. Nia taught me some really simple processes to put into place to better leverage my business, better leverage my results, and to start systemizing and kind of outsourcing, even if it was just like outsourcing to myself in a different way, outsourcing how to get some tasks done. That was really, really helpful. But here's the little thing that I found. As I found these business structures that really set me free in these different systems that really worked for me, I started to teach them to my clients, and I found that they weren't getting the same results as me. I found they weren't taking the same action that I took, and I found that those outward steps are actually just a natural side effect of you learning how to love yourself and be more trusting of yourself and be more authentically yourself out loud in this world. And when you have that solid level of self-love, self-trust, and a keen awareness of your self-worth, you naturally take these actions. You naturally do whatever it takes. You naturally can get yourself to do things that you couldn't get yourself to do before. Hey, Lisa, I'm so glad that you're here, sweetie. I was trying to tag you, so I'm glad that you found this. I saw that I popped on live. Yeah, I'm just kind of sharing a little bit about me, my story, how I kind of got to this point. And yeah, if you ladies have any questions, please just type them in. I'll try to keep hitting refresh so I can see the comments as they come up, because they're not coming up on my live stream for whatever reason. Okay, but luckily I've done enough of these live streams to understand how this stuff works and sometimes doesn't work, so hopefully I can keep up between the two. But anything you have or any questions that you have around creating consistent income, business structures that are non-traditional, how to leverage your time better, anything like that, definitely chat it in here. And thanks for joining. Okay, so some people were taking action. Sometimes I was taking action. Sometimes my clients weren't taking action. Sometimes I wasn't taking action. And I was very curious to understand what is lying behind the scenes of action so that I could better understand why I take action and why I don't, and why my clients do and why they don't. And I found that underlying, because I reverse engineered action, isn't that what we all do whenever we come up with an idea? Just reverse engineer it to figure out how it works. I reverse engineered action to find out what was behind the scenes, behind the scene aspects, the physical steps of doing in order to get. Like that's what it looks like. It looks like we go through these steps. It looks like we move from A to B to C, and if we move from A, B, and C in the right order, in the right way, we're gonna get to D. And that's the way we're trained, it's what we're taught, and there is a lot of truth to that. But when you're somebody who's either moving from A to B to C and not finding the same results at D as what you see other people, or if you just can't get yourself to move from point to point, or you just can't figure out how to get yourself to go from point to point, this is where you need to start peeling back the layers and seeing what's underneath the surface. Because if you don't peel back the layers and see what's underneath the surface, then you're left to compare yourself to other people. And if other people are getting results and you're not getting the results, then you are going to be left thinking that the problem is you. And then you're in a position where you are still searching outside of yourself for the answer. If the problem's still me, then I must need to learn a better sales funnel. I must need to know how to build my list some more. I must need to learn something else outside of myself in order to get what I have going on working for me. And I'm guessing that if you're watching this, this is probably sounding familiar, or a little snapshot of what has happened in your own mind as you sat down to take work or to take action in your business. So if this is sounding familiar, I really invite you to stay tuned to the rest of this training and really plug in to what I'm going to share with you today, because I'm here to tell you that you're not the problem. In fact, there is no problem. And if we do have to point a finger and lay some blame and identify a problem in this situation, the only problem is that you think that there is a problem. You think that you're doing something wrong. You think that you are the problem. And as long as you move forward with that belief, you are always going to get the results in life and have the experience of life of you being the problem. If you keep moving forward, looking for all the answers outside of you, you're going to keep believing the story that you don't already know enough and don't already know what to do. And I am going to be pretty daring and say that you do know what to do. And I think you know this too. I think that you know that if you took just one or two of the aspects or concepts that you've already learned, that you've already been trained on, that you've already invested in or free downloaded or opt into or whatever it is, you have some kind of answer that you're sitting on that you know is the right thing for you to do, and you're just not doing it. You're just not doing it. Now, maybe you're not doing it again because you're not quite sure exactly how to get started on it. And maybe you're not doing it because you're telling yourself that you don't have enough money to do it, or you don't have the support from your spouse to do it, or some other reason or excuse as to why you cannot do it. But if you just took one of the things that you have already invested your time, money, and energy to learn, if you just took one of them and just maxed it out, like implemented it inside and out, took it all the way as far as you could take it, chances are that one thing would get you some really radical results. But what's interesting is that you're not doing that one thing. Now, we like to sit back and be like, well, I'm not doing a lot of things, right? You have this ongoing to-do list that never gets done. Do you want to know the secret as to why your to-do list never gets done? Because you're not supposed to do it all. You're not supposed to do it all. What if all that you're ever supposed to do are the things that actually get done, and the rest of it are just thoughts, ideas, and options that you actually weren't supposed to take, or else you would have done them? Can you see how whenever you think that you're the problem, you can start to confuse some of what's happening and some of your experiences, and you will always have the experience of there being something that doesn't work and you're the main cause of it? So if you can relate to this, again, I want to help you to understand why you're not taking that action. I want to help you. I'm getting a little thumbs up from Joanne, so I can see that I must be hitting home and hitting the mark for her, and I'm sure for many of you who are watching this, either here live or in replay. So I want to help you through today's training. I want to help you to understand why you're not taking that action, how you can take that action, and then also help you to understand what are the real underlying factors to attracting consistent income with a consistent and inconsistent schedule in particular. Because there's this belief that has been handed down generation to generation, entrepreneur to entrepreneur, trainer to trainee. And there is a big, big buzz in our entrepreneurial community all around this idea of hustling. You got to hustle. You got to knock on all the doors. You got to make all the phone calls. You got to post all the posts. You got to do all the do's. You got to get all the gets. It's this hustle, hustle, hustle mentality. And if you're a mom, believe me, I know we can't hustle any more than we already are. I'm hustling from the moment that I wake up to the time that I go to bed, and it can't all be around my business. I'm hustling to be a mama. I'm hustling to get out the door. I'm hustling to get my emails sent out. I'm hustling to make my Facebook post. I'm hustling to go play with my daughter. I'm hustling to be a wife. I'm hustling to get dinner on the table. I'm hustling to get my daughter into bed. I am hustling non-stop. I can't hustle more, and you don't have to. And the more that I implement everything that I'm going to share with you today, and I'm getting lit up with chills because I know I must be hitting on something, and I can see some love coming on the live stream. So thank you, ladies. I'm glad to know that this is hitting home. I can't hustle anymore. I can't. I can't do more to get more in my life. I am hustled the F out. I can't do it anymore. And the more that I implement what it is that I'm going to talk to you about throughout this training, the more peace of mind I get. The more stillness comes into my life. The more fulfillment comes into my life. The more time comes into my life. The more options come into my life. The more ease comes into my life. The more support comes into my life. And none of what I'm going to share with you is dependent on what anybody else is doing outside of you, including the economy, including your significant other, including your family, your clients, your Facebook friends, whatever. What I'm talking about is getting in touch with your own power, becoming your own guide as you navigate forward, and learning how to transform the experience and the relationship that you have with yourself so that you can transform the relationship and experience that you have with the world around you and that the world around you has with you. I'm talking about shifting the power from everything being out here, and when everything's lined up out here, then we can feel whatever we want to feel in here, to learning what this is telling you so that you can shift what's in here so that everything out here, you have a different experience of, even if what's out here doesn't change. I mean, it's awesome to feel like a rock star in your business whenever you got a fully booked calendar and you got an overflowing bank account. But how are you supposed to show up like a rock star in your business until that happens? And what happens to you representing your business whenever that schedule eases off and whenever that bank account starts to go down? Are you still in touch with your total badass self? Or does that slip away as those numbers slip away? Just like, does that slip away as the numbers on your scale increases or the size in your closet increases? Or how about, does your peace of mind and happiness depend on how much fulfillment you have in your relationship? Can you see how the places that you are unhappy and you are unfulfilled, they all lead back to something that's happening externally? And if you wait for all of that to change so that you can be successful, so that you can have the money, so that you can have the time, so that you can have the energy, so that you can have the support, so that you can be successful, you're going to be waiting a long dang time, and you're going to be thinking, this one is to blame. And I'm here to liberate you of that. I'm here to help you shift some of the responsibility off of your shoulders so that you have the energy to take full responsibility for what is yours. And from there, again, you can begin to have a more rich, more fulfilling, more satisfying, and more results getting experience in life. But here's the caveat. When you do it in order to get, you're going to just scratch the surface. When you can learn how to do it because it's just simply what makes your heart sing and it's what you do for your own personal pleasure, then everything's really going to start to change. I'm just going to do a little refresh to see if there's any comments here that I'm missing. And then I'm going to get into sharing some of this content with y'all. Lisa says, it's so true. The hustle is real. Yes. I mean, when I see, God bless you, millennials. I love you so much. You are my people. I resonate with you. You dreamers, you wayseers. I mean, like, I get millennials more than probably most Gen Xers, which actually I'm Gen Y-er. I love you, millennials. I love you. I love you. But you're in your 20s. You got yourself to think about. You're not a mom. You're not a wife. So hustle, sweetie. I was hustling like a motherfucker when I was in my 20s too. I was hustling, waiting tables. I was hustling, working 2, 3, 4 jobs. I was hustling around the clocks. But you know what? That changes. It changes. And again, you can either do in order to get, you can believe that all that hard work is where it's at, or you can learn to be like a master, to be like a Jedi, to be like a ninja, and just sit back and be you and attract and be successful, not because of anything that you do, but because of that's who you are in the very essence, core of your being, and that's who you came here to be and to do. And that's why replicating what somebody else is doing isn't working for you, because you didn't come here to do what other people are doing. You came here to do what you came here to do. And because things are shifting, we came here to do different things than the people that came before us. We came to do it in different ways. We came to do it in multifaceted ways. We didn't come here with one focus. We came here to do lots of things. But if we don't know how to narrow in that focus within ourselves about what our own calling and mission is, and be able to relate that in a clear and confident way to other people, we're just going to quite frankly confuse the hell out of them. And they're going to be like, wow, you're awesome. You do a lot, but I'm not going to hire you or refer anybody to you. Because again, as long as you are doing all these things in order to be successful, to prove to your husband or spouse or significant other that you can actually make this work, or to prove your own worth or value as a coach, as a practitioner, as a whatever it is that you are, you're always going to be in this struggle mode. You're always going to be hustling, and your results will always be dependent on the amount of work that you put into it. And there is a more effortless way. And effortless doesn't mean inactive. It just means that the action that you take is a natural byproduct, a natural expression of your beingness, instead of something that you have to do in order to get results. Does this sound too good to be true? Like your business could just be you more fully expressed in the world, and your success actions are just what you would normally be doing. I mean, when I wake up in the morning, I just think like, what do I have on my heart that I want to share? And I show up and I share it, not to get, but just to give. But not to give because if I give, then I can get. See where I'm going with this? See where I'm going with this? It's a totally different vibe, because I dare say it's not the actions that get results. It's the energy behind the actions. And when you can align the energy behind your actions with the truth about who you are, what you came here to do, and where you are headed, then the way just unfolds in a totally different way than what you've experienced in your past. Lisa says, woohoo, she's so awesome. I hope you're talking about me. Thanks, babe. I think you're awesome too. Joanne says, holy shit, I am loving all of this. Fireworks here, breakthroughs happening. I love it. I want to know, what are some of the breakthroughs? What is clicking for you ladies as I share this with you? Because I hadn't even gotten into like the good stuff yet. Just kidding. It's all good stuff. Lisa says, do you have daily affirmations that help you every day? You're very positive and I love feeling your energy. Oh, thank you, Lisa. People tell me that I'm positive all the time. Actually, positivity is one of my top 5 strengths when I took my Strengths Finder test. So yeah, positivity. I'm glad that you asked about it, because there is this myth, this spiritual myth going around, since we're talking about consistent income attraction, that you gotta stay high vibe in order to get what you want, and how negative thinking is just gonna bring you more negative life experiences. Well, negative thinking will bring you more negative life experiences because you create the experiences you're having at any given moment based on what you're thinking. But thinking negatively is not going to attract more negative stuff to come into your life. It's just going to cause you to look back out around at your life and make up more negative stories about it. So fear not, mama. If you are stressed out or not feeling high vibe all day long, that is not what's stopping money from coming your way. That is not what's making it inconsistent in your life. It is not. You do not have to be positive in order to get results in your life. But I will tell you from my own personal experience, being able to be positive gives me a different experience of me as I go through whatever it is that life has to unfold in front of me. So daily affirmations are awesome, but you know what? They don't work for so many people, because if you go into a daily affirmation saying, I'm going to say this affirmation every morning and then it's going to change my life, the only way the affirmation is going to change your life is if you change how you feel about you as you are affirming that statement. So it's so much more powerful to really get in touch with what it is that your heart really needs to hear. And I take people through a beautiful process. I do these amazing group healing sessions every single month. I rotate them between a limited belief clearing session, a distant healing session, and an authentic alignment session. They happen the last week of the month. So I think the Wednesday and Thursday, yeah, the 30th and 31st will be when they're happening for this month. So definitely connect with me if you want to find out about that. But I take you in the distant healing session, I take you through a protocol, a self-healing protocol that allows you to tap into your own intuition, to your own inner guidance, and bring forth the healing protocol that is needed for you to remedy whatever is just, I guess, to bring balance to you and to bring healing energy to whatever is physically or emotionally or mentally feeling off for you. So that whatever comes forth from those sessions, like if your heart is telling you, if your internal self says, I need to hear this more often, that is the most powerful affirmation that you can make. So taking on other people's affirmations are awesome, but really being able to tap into your own guidance and your own intuition and bring forth what it is that your heart really needs to hear in that moment, those are the best affirmations that you can bring into your day. So I just, in any given moment, here's a really super hot, powerful tip. In any given moment, if there's something that I desire to hear from another person, like say I'm getting ready to go into a sales conversation, and then I'm feeling kind of nervous about it. This doesn't really happen, but let's just say, because the way that I teach sales and the way that I approach sales, it just starts with a layer of confidence and clarity. So it doesn't really cause me to get all that anxious or anxiety ridden whenever I go into them. But let's just say that I was. Let's just say there was somebody who I really wanted to help, and I could really see the alignment between us, and I was really starting to sort of get attached to them saying yes or no to whatever it is that I'm going to pitch them or offer to them. Then I'll ask myself, what words would I want to hear? What is it that I would love to hear them say the most? And whatever that is, I'll just start telling that to myself. That becomes my affirmation. That becomes what I tell my internal self, because those words that we desire to hear from another, it's just our intuition telling us what we need to tell to our own internal self. The comforts that we seek is from ourselves. The support that we seek is from ourselves. The abundance, the richness that we seek, it's us desiring to connect to us. That's where the magic happens. And when you know that, Lisa, now that doesn't just like mean that every second of my life I'm just like, woohoo! That doesn't happen. It doesn't free you of the human experience. The human experience comes with all the emotions, the good ones, the bad ones, the preferred ones, the non-preferred ones. I get them all. It's just that I use them now as an indicator to help me navigate my course instead of something that defines me, that I have to personify and demonstrate out into my life. I hope that's helpful. So yeah, affirmations are awesome. Actually, I just did this amazing self-love power shift. It's a master workshop series that I have over my membership community, my mastermind group, which everybody's welcome to join for 1 week for just $1. So if this sounds like something you'd be interested in, definitely check it out. But I just took them through a self-love power shift. It was a 6-day focus on how to implement daily self-love, why you do it for yourself, why you do it to move your business forward, and how to do it. How do you make self-love like a daily activity? And the very first day, I start everybody off with redefining intentions. So intentions are a lot like affirmations. I think you'd really resonate with it, Lisa. And it helps you to really understand the power of intentions, what intentions are, how to clearly set them, and how to use them as anchors to anchor yourself into your self-love throughout the day. I thought we were going to have a little visitor, but she walked away. Okay. And thank you, Lisa, for all the kind words. Thank you so much. And is it Lisa or Lisa Marie? Because I'd rather be saying it whichever way you prefer. Joanne says, my breakthrough is just doing what I enjoy for my pleasure, not for getting money. Yes, 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 yes. If you've seen that movie Sing, that kid's movie Sing, they personify it or demonstrate it, I guess it would be, since they're not really people. They animate it like crazy, right? They personify this so well. They put it out into a play so well, because it's in the end of the movie when everybody shows up to sing for themselves. That's when the magic happens. That's when the crowds pour in. That's when everything becomes a success. It's not whenever they're doing it to make a big show or doing it to make a lot of money or doing it to make themselves famous. It's when they showed up to sing for themselves. And I'm getting chills. I cried the last time I saw it because I just connected with that underlying story. It's about doing it for your pleasure. And how bold to show up and do things for your pleasure. This is why self-love, self-trust, and self-worth is so important, because if you don't love yourself, if you don't know yourself on an intimate level, I say that self-love is what really allows us to know who we are. If you don't know who you are, and you don't trust yourself, you don't trust yourself to come forward as the amazing, compassionate, giving person that you are. I mean, I don't even have to know you to know that you are amazing. I know that you are, because you got one of these in your own flavor and variety at home. And if they are still alive to this day, you have done a phenomenal job. And even if there has been some passing along the way, I guarantee you have done your job beautifully. You are the angel that they chose to come into this life to be guided through. They know. So trust them. She looks like she makes good decisions, right? This is my babe. She's the one that inspired me to go into business before I even had her, years before I had her. And this is what I do it all for. That's what I do it all for. This kid. Do you want to say anything? No? Okay. Oh. Lovely, right? You just like to see yourself in the video? Do you want to finish watching what you're watching over there? Little Winnie the Pooh? Okay. Can we kiss? Thanks for saying hi. Blah. Up and down. Thanks, babe. Boop. Ah. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Okay, perfect. So, yes, we are taught that self-love is conceitedness or arrogance. And I'm here to say self-love is the highest form of honoring the divine, because you are the divine in human form. You are a vessel for the divine to live through in this life. Your soul chose you to live out your soul's calling and mission in this life. Your soul chose you. Your soul chose you. Your soul chose you. What? Because you are perfectly equipped for this journey. You're perfect to see this through. You have the desire, you have the know-how, you have everything that you need inside of you to move you forward along your path and to help you connect with anybody else who's here to help you on your journey. All of this has been taken care of, Mama. You don't have to make any of that happen. It's been done. You did it before you got here. Give yourself a little pat on the back and a high five for making your life easier in this journey. But it's going to be hard if you don't know that that internal voice is you trying to navigate you through this journey. It's going to be a challenge if you don't understand what your physical sensations are trying to tell you. So if you're somebody who's suffering with different physical imbalances in your body or different energetic or emotional imbalances in your body, depression and anxiety are at an all-time high. Relationships are at an all-time high level of volatility these days. They're very volatile these days. It's just what's happening. I mean, we got this solar eclipse happening today. Lots of people have lots of opinions about how that affects us. It can't not affect us. That's the way that I look at it. But you're fully equipped for this journey. Your soul chose you to do it. Now, when you can love yourself, when you can trust yourself, when you can move forward in all of your knowingness that you are the magic. You are the secret ingredient. You are the one that you've been waiting for to come in and to rescue you. You know, for years I prayed. I would say out loud, I would say it all the time, I just wish someone would come and sponsor me to go through school. If someone would just pay for me to go through schooling, then I would do whatever I can do. I would do an amazing job if someone would just come and pay for me to go to school. And somebody did. It was me. I did it. And that should have been my clue that I'm the hero of this story. I came in and rescued me. I sent myself through school. I'm still paying those loans right now, and that's okay. I can still do this. I'm being given everything that I need. Did it all come in the way that I wanted it? Heck no. Did it all come in the time frame that I thought that it should? Definitely not. But the more that I can trust and relax and just allow this unfolding that's going to happen, however it's going to happen, regardless of what I do or don't do, and I can make it my focus not to do in order to get, but to love the one that I'm doing all of it with, that I'm going through all of it with, because she deserves more love, not less, no matter what is happening or not happening. That was a total game changer for me. Total game changer for me, to the point that I've changed my entire practice to where I'm no longer helping anybody change themselves, fix themselves, make themselves better. I will teach you how to love yourself. And through loving yourself more, you can build your self-trust, you can get connected to your self-worth. And when those three pieces come together, you may find yourself in a natural evolution. You may find yourself changing in ways that you never thought were possible before in your life. But those changes are going to be a natural side effect of you just being more true to who you are, you living this life more for your pleasure, you trusting that you can live this life for your pleasure and still provide abundant service and see how everybody actually gets along better in this world when you do things for your pleasure instead of out of obligation or doing in order to get or out of fear or out of shame or whatever else is holding you back. That's what we really need to free ourselves from. It's what we really need to free ourselves from. And that's what this entrepreneurial journey and that's what this mom journey gives you the opportunity to do. But if you're so busy just trying to decide or hustling through and your sights are set on a distant place that isn't right here today, it's going to be more pain, more heartache, more struggle, more bumps in the road, far more disappointment, far more frustration. All the same unfolding, total different experience of you. Therefore, you're going to have a different experience of the unfolding that's happening around you. So since I've been talking for like 45 minutes now, I'm going to tell you the 3 keys to consistent income that really are the keys to consistent income. Now, you might have an amazing sales funnel. You might have no sales funnel. You might have a lot of systems in place. You might have no systems in place. The actions get built upon these unseen elements. So whatever you're doing or not doing, you're going to get more results by having a rock solid level of these 3 things as you journey forward. So if you want to attract, even when you're not working, I've gotten paid 3 times today. This is the first work that I've shown up to do. What? Yeah, I've gotten paid 3 times today. 1, 2, 3 times today. And this is the first work that I've shown up to do. I don't have any paying appointments on my schedule today, but I've already gotten paid 3 times, right? This happens every day in my life. I love it. I really think the passive income was meant for passive people. That's what I think. And I think the residual income should be the income that you attract as a residual side effect of you being naturally you. And if that kind of thing interests you, like it does Joanne, because I see her giving me a lot of thumbs up right now, then you're going to need to pay attention to these 3 pillars, these 3 unseen aspects that lie underneath the surface of whatever action you're taking or not taking so that you can consistently attract. And again, I encourage you to take these on, not so that you can get on the other side, but because you deserve to have an amazing experience of you, regardless if you got income or clients or a business or whatever going on in your life. You deserve to have an amazing experience of you. And until you start having an amazing experience of you, chances are other people aren't going to have an amazing experience of you. Part of the reason that Lisa Maria is feeling what she feels from me through this live stream is because I enjoy myself being expressed in this way so I can bring it to you. It's amazing, right? Okay, so here we go. I got notes and everything, y'all. So here are my 3 keys to consistent income attraction. The number one thing is commitment. Commitment. I know, surprise, surprise. This one could be like one of those things, and actually all of these are going to be like, duh, but I'm going to help you think about it on like a much deeper level. You have to be committed in order to see this journey through. The entrepreneurial journey, it is unlike any other journey. It is a spiritual journey, is what it is. You're going to get to know yourself just like you do in your most intimate relationships. Relationships teach you who you are. Your relationship with yourself is going to teach you who you are through the entrepreneurial path. You're going to get to know yourself like never before. You might think that you're a kick-ass employee. Quit your job, start a business. You're going to be thinking that you're the laziest, most procrastinating thing ever. I guarantee you it is sad, but it's a wonderful realization. You get to know yourself on a much deeper level. You might think that you'll do whatever it takes. Yeah, you'll probably do whatever it takes for somebody else's success, but will you do that for yours? You got to be committed like never before. Nobody tells you how lonely this path is. Nobody tells you how challenging it is. Everybody's got the misnomer, oh, that's hard. Starting a business is hard. A lot of numbers, a lot of calculations, percentages, taxes. I don't know how y'all do it. That's the easy freaking part, but you're never even going to keep that part up if you don't have that level of commitment, right? Commitment. You have to not ever quit. You have to not ever quit. Do you know how many times a day, a week, a month, a year I have thought about quitting over the last 11 years? I've thought about it not so much over the last couple months, thank goodness. But believe me, I still have my moments. I still have my moments, and you're going to have your moments, and you need to understand those moments are going to come, but you just don't ever quit. You don't ever quit. You don't ever quit. You don't ever quit. I don't care if you take another training. I don't care if you go for more schooling. I don't care if you take a pause. Just don't quit. Just don't quit. Just don't quit. Every single successful person has the same thing in common. They didn't freaking quit. Commitment. I hear so often, if I just had a team of people, if I just had one person that was committed like me, baby, you got you. That's one person. That's all you need. You have to get committed, not just to seeing this through, not just to bringing your services to the world, not just for making your heart sing loud into the world, not just the physical doings. You have to commit to your own peace of mind, your own happiness, your own fulfillment. You have to commit to making this thing and this thing sing regardless of what's happening out here. Because if you're going into this thinking, oh, if I can just do all this, then I can get all this, and then I can feel all this, you're doing it all backwards. You're doing it all backwards. You're not going to have the experience out here until you got the experience in here. And if you're having a crappy experience out here, it's probably because you got a crappy experience in here, right? Yes. So you have to get committed. Committed to your journey. Committed to seeing it through. Committed to your own peace of mind and happiness, and you have to become your own best business partner. You have to become your own best friend, because if you don't have that level of commitment, if you don't have that relationship built, it's going to be a struggle, baby. And if it's been a struggle, take a look. How have you been treating you as you've gone through this journey? Probably not so good. Probably in ways that you would never let other people treat you. Yeah, you got to get committed. So that's the first C. There's 3 C's. 3 C's. Commitment's the first one. Okay, so the other key is confidence. You remember how I said that I reverse engineered action? Do you know what the very first layer, like if you just peel back that external expression of action, whatever that action is, doing this webinar right now, it's an action. Do you want to know what's lying underneath that very first level that's actually allowing me to do this webinar? Confidence. Confidence. I have confidence in my messaging. I have confidence in my ability to deliver it. I can't stop myself from doing this, y'all. I can't stop myself. Get yourself aligned with who you are and what is true about you. Learn how to trust yourself. Get aligned with that. You'll become unstoppable too. But confidence is the key to any action that you take. And lack of confidence is the reason why you're not taking the action that you're not taking. That's it. It's not about what you like or what you don't like. You do stuff that you don't like all the time because you're confident you're going to survive on the other side. You're confident nobody else is going to do it. You're confident that you can do it. And you don't take action on your desires that you want so much. You want them so much. You want them so much. I can feel it because I feel it for myself. And you don't do it because you're not confident. You're not confident you're going to get the results. You're not confident that people are going to say yes. You're not confident in your ability to deliver. You're not confident in some area. And if you can spend your time seeking out where you're lacking confidence and seek to build that confidence instead of looking outside of yourself for the answer, girlfriend, I'm telling you, your results will shift instantaneously. I realized around this time last year, so October of last year, that there needed to be some serious shifts in my relationship with my husband. Serious shifts. Big, like, mind-blowing realizations coming up for me. I knew something had to change. I knew that it couldn't stay how it was. I just knew it. And I watched myself for 4 months not take action. And at first I was like, WTF, Chrissy? You see what needs to be done. You know what needs to be done. Why aren't you doing it? Okay, why don't you implement what you teach? And if I'm not doing it, I must not be confident. What am I not confident about? Am I not confident in what I'm doing? I'm pretty confident in what I'm doing. So where am I wavering? I'm confident in what I'm doing, but I'm not confident in my ability to communicate to my husband what I'm doing and to have his loving support without seeing the tangible physical results that I know lie down the road. That's what I was not confident around. So I didn't focus on how do I figure out what to say to my husband? How do I change our relationship? I focused on how can I get a rock solid level of confidence in what it is that I'm doing so that I'm not afraid to communicate this to other people or feel like I have to have tangible physical results to show them before they believe it like I know it to be true. Confidence is make or break. Confidence is everything. That's the reason every single month in my Facebook group for conscious entrepreneurs is open up to everybody, the Consciouspreneur Club. The first Monday of each month, I kick off a free 5-day challenge called Transform Fear into Confidence. And I take you step by step through very simple, basic business structure that you can implement into your practice, regardless if you already have a practice that's going on or if you're just getting started in your business. Very basic business structure anybody can implement, and how to be confident to do each of these steps. And I reverse it, engineer it all the way back to the very core of what's at the core of confidence, what's at the core of action, which is self-love, which is where our journey begins. And I show you how self-love is the precursor to your ability to follow through. So if you're somebody who feels like you're a procrastinator or you're lazy, go back to self-love, because that's where it all begins. Self-love is the precursor for follow-through. Follow-through builds self-trust. Self-trust leads to clarity. Clarity leads to confidence. Confidence makes you unstoppable. Unstoppable. That's why it's one of the keys to consistent income attraction. If you're only confident when your bank accounts are high, anytime your bank account's low, your confidence is going to waver, so's your attraction. Just think about it in dealing with people. If you're around somebody who's uncertain, are they more or less attractive than somebody who is confident? That's why we like the bad boys, because they know how to carry themselves with confidence. The good boys are a little bit uncertain because they're good. They feel a lot. They're aware that they feel a lot and they want to make sure everything's okay. So they're a little uncertain. So we're a little uncertain, right? Just explain my whole entire high school experience right there and didn't even know it before. Okay. Confidence decides all action, and energy is a game changer. If you shift the energy behind your actions, if you can just get confidence to stand upon before you take the actions that you take in your business, you're going to accelerate your results. You're going to get more consistent results. You're going to become naturally more attractive. You're going to be like a magnet. I just refreshed the comments. So thank you, ladies, for the kind words on Keely. Thank you. I think she's adorable as well. Okay. So yes, you got commitment, you got confidence. Those two of the three keys. The third key is consistency. Consistency. And beyond, again, the obviousness of that statement, if you want life to be consistent with you, you have to be consistent with life. It's the only way to show that you mean business is to show up consistently. It's the only way to show that you mean business. It's kind of like, there's people in your life, we all have these people in our life that are like, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to do. And then they do it for like a day, and then 3 weeks later, they're right back to not doing it. And then they're talking again 4 months down the road around how they're going to do something. Yeah, the next time they talk about it, we're like, yeah, right. I don't even believe you anymore, because you start it, you don't finish it, you're not consistent with it. You just come back whenever you're consistent. And then once they're consistent, you're like, dang, you're really doing this. Now I can get behind you. Now I can support you. Now I can trust myself to not feel let down because you're being consistent. It's the way that we are on an unseen level with people. And when you can bring this awareness into your own game, then you can understand. Consistency is key, but you also have to understand you will only be consistent to the degree that you're committed. You will only be consistent to the degree that you are confident. That's why I started with the other two before we got to this one. Consistency is key. It's not what you do that matters. It's what you do consistently that matters. That's why it's okay for you to F up. Because unless you F up consistently, you're not really going to have an F'd up overall life experience. It's what you do consistently that matters. It doesn't matter what you post on Facebook. It matters that you post consistently. It doesn't matter what you do or what you don't do. It matters what you do or don't do consistently. You see where I'm going with this? It's so simple. It's right in front of us. But until it gets, really looked at, it's easier to overlook. Life is not consistent, or life is as consistent as you are. Starting my Facebook group was one of the best things I can do. It started me showing up consistently. When I knew I had a consistent audience, I showed up consistently. When I made this commitment, I just started doing it consistently. Here, a year later, I show up consistently because I built the habit. But now I'm not even showing up to be consistent for my Facebook group. I'm showing up because I can't stop myself from showing up because I love this stuff so much. But that came over time. Came over time. Not a time of getting really good at what I do, but a time of getting really good at knowing who I am and trusting myself to bring that out into the world. Okay, so those are my 3 keys to consistent income attraction. That is the underlying pillars. If you do not have these rock solid, you will not have consistent experience. And I guarantee you, anytime that you have a consistent experience, lying underneath the surface is these things. I guarantee you, just look back at your own life. And for most of us, it is not getting results that's the problem, it's getting consistent results. Because most of us are not in a loving relationship with ourselves enough to be proactive in our life, and we're really conditioned to being reactive. So we don't get going until our bank accounts get low. We don't start dieting until our scales say that we've gained weight. But if you can be proactive in your life, which happens whenever you start to be consistent, when you get really confident, when you have that commitment to yourself, when you learn how to love yourself enough to be proactive in your life, just like you love your kids enough to be proactive in their life. You don't wait until they're starving to give them food. No, you're like, hey guys, dinner's on the table, let's go. You got to be proactive with yourself, just like you are with your loved ones. And when you can do that, when you can love yourself, regardless if you got an overflowing bank account or if it's on zero, when you can understand that your worth is not dependent on that, when you can understand you hold infinite value, when you can understand you can never charge what you're worth, ever. Yeah, I'll take the whole entire universe served up on a silver platter. Can't do it because you are so much more than what you realize. It can never be matched. But when you can know that this is what you came here to do, and you can trust yourself and you can love yourself enough to go forward to give yourself the most amazing experience of you possible. And for those of you that are like, gosh, that just sounds way too self-centered, think about how amazing you are to other people when you are amazing to yourself. When you are full to overflowing, you naturally spill it out onto other people. The reason that you have crappy experiences of other people is because you are currently not speaking up for something that you need in your life, because you don't love yourself enough to do it. You haven't gotten to know yourself intimately enough to understand what that is. You're still running off of old belief systems. If that's you, join me for the limited belief clearing session that's going to happen next week. It will change your world instantaneously. It's amazing. And I'll teach you the protocol during the session. So you can use this throughout your day, throughout your weeks, throughout your months, throughout your years as an entrepreneur. It's amazing. Totally amazing. So I have that going on next week. Definitely the best place to connect with me is in the Consciouspreneur Club. We are going to be kicking off a brand new Transform Fear into Confidence Challenge on Monday, September the 4th. And if you're somebody who's like, I love all of this, I want to stay connected to all of this, but I'm ready to dive in right now, I invite you over to the Conscious Entrepreneur Mastermind, which is my membership community. In that group, you get monthly group healing sessions that are yours for a very low monthly investment. You get a group healing session, you get deep dive training videos, you get a monthly master workshop series, you get deep dive training videos on the questions that you bring to the table. You get the supportive community of the group, you get firsthand glimpses and access to anything that I bring to the table. You get all of that at a discount as well. And actually, hold on just 1 minute. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Give me just 1 moment, okay? Just 1 moment. And I'm going to wrap this up, okay? So in 6 weeks, actually in 2 weeks, I'm going to be announcing early bird pricing for an amazing program. An amazing program. I dare say it's my most powerful program that I've ever had out there. Joanne, if you're still here live, I know that you can speak to it as well because you're one of the beautiful beta testers. So in 2 weeks, I'm going to launch an amazing program that is for anybody who is ready to really master the art of receiving. See, I think that we are programmed to give, and we give more naturally as women and as moms, and we really need to learn how to receive. That we really don't have money problems, we have receiving problems. So if you'd like more consistent income, if you want to feel really good whenever money comes up, if you want to feel rich and abundant, no matter what your bank account says, if you want to feel just amazing around money, if you want to stop being thrown for a loop whenever you have an unexpected expense. If you want to stop waiting for the other shoe to drop whenever things are going good, if these are the kind of things that you're looking to kind of bring some peace into your life, then definitely connect with me. Right now, I'm going to, over the next 2 weeks, open a very soft pre-sale for my inner circle. And since you're one of the first places that I'm having this conversation, you've now become my inner circle. So welcome. So for my inner circle, I'll be talking about this in the Consciouspreneur Club. I, of course, will be talking about it in my mastermind group. And I'm going to be talking to like my mailing list. I'm going to do a little pre-sale over the next 2 weeks. Over the next 2 weeks, you can get in on a pre-sale that is less than my early bird pricing for this Power Shift program that I'm going to be launching. In October 2nd, we're going to kick off the 21-day money power shift. It is a 21-day journey to forever changing your experience with money, to forever changing the experience that you have of you whenever money enters the equation or whenever it leaves the equation, to have rock solid money confidence, to no longer worry about money, to feel confident regardless of what that number is on your bank account. If those are the things that you're interested in learning, then stay connected with me. Get in on this pre-sale. The 21-day money power shifts, I'm going to offer it at $333. Right now, I'm doing a pre-sale that is less than the early bird pricing. Early bird pricing is going to start in 2 weeks at $222, and today I'm going to start the pre-sale at $111. For $111, you can get in on this 21-day journey. What's really cool is not only do you get in on that journey, but you become an affiliate, meaning that if you refer other people, you can actually earn money back. So you can get your spot paid for. Pretty cool. And I'd love to share more about it with you. If you're interested, definitely reach out to me, comment below. I'll make sure that we get in touch. I don't even have everything lined up so that you can sign up. So you definitely have to reach out to me if you want in on this pre-sale, if you want to find out how you can become an affiliate and you can help me promote and you can actually get paid, get your spot paid for, or just earn some extra income, whichever way you want to do it. So I have those two things going on. So if you come over to the Consciouspreneur Club, you can get plugged in with everything. You can take part in the free Transform Fear into Confidence Challenge. You can find out more about my mastermind, and you can get in on my mastermind. Right now, I just finished up a self-love series last week. It is brilliant. It is brilliant. And you can get in there. You can check out the group. I will give you a 1-week trial for just $1 if you want to go in there, peek around, see if it's for you. You get instant access to a ton of trainings. Beautiful community. You can test it out though before you decide if you want to stay or not. So if you're interested in that level of support, definitely let me know. And I'd love to offer it to you. And yeah, if you want to just reach out and even connect for a breakthrough session, I would love to have that with any of you who are looking to have a little bit more clarity and just know what's the best next step for you to take in your business and towards your dream. I will offer that to anybody who watches this and reaches out to me. So just reach out if you want to connect further. I thank you for watching this video. I thank y'all for hanging in here live for all this time. I'm hitting right at an hour, so I'm going to wrap it up. If you have any questions on anything that I've said, feel free to comment, and I will tag me if you can, but I'll try to check back in on this post for the next couple of days and make sure that all these questions get answered. And I'll also drop a link to my Facebook group in the comments below. And I don't know, maybe a link to the mastermind too if you want to check that out. And reach out to me if you want to find out more about the pre-sale that I have happening right now for the 21-day money power shift. All right, y'all. It's been a pleasure. It's been my honor. I love nothing more than coming together and connecting with you in this way. So reach out to me. We can connect further. And I hope that you've had an amazing day. I hope that you learned a lot from this training. And I want to know. So definitely leave me some feedback in the comments below. Let me know if this hits home and if you want to dive in deeper. All right. Have a beautiful, wonderful day. Love all of you. Thanks, Lisa, and thanks, Nia, for this wonderful community, and let me contribute to it. Y'all have a great day. Bye.